Executive Production with CY. I'm Sweets. This is CY. Today is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. What we're going to be talking about today is an extension of our last conversation, which is SMS or messaging based. First, I'll ask a question. Have you tried sending a message to InProcess yet?
I have not. I had a barrage of validation messages, which I thought was stuff still in test. So I haven't actually had it in mind, like, oh, I should try this now. So maybe we should try it now.
Yeah. Last time we tried, before it was just me and a dev on my team that were testing, and it was working fine for us. An hour later, you and I jumped on our call with the rest of the InProcess team, and we tried to get Carl to work. We tried to get you to test it. I think you both have T-Mobile or some service like that. And
Yes.
When you sent the message, we sent the response, but then T-Mobile filtered us and said, hey, this 10-digit code, 10-digit phone number has not been verified, and so you can't. I tried going through that verification process. It kept asking for more and more. I was having to pay money. And eventually I was just like, well, there's this. And then we also got rate limited. I noticed that when I would send a message, I sent like 2 messages back to back, and then I didn't get a response. And when I looked into the logs, it said, hey, for 10-digit codes, you can only send 2 messages per minute. Meanwhile, right below it in the doc said toll free, no limit. And I was like, could we do this toll free thing? And I started to look into it more. And it looks like, if my current understanding is, toll free is how the major carriers try to route business traffic. You have a toll free number. It starts with 800 or 888 or like these set of codes. And that lets humans know this traffic is coming from a business. It's not a human. Meanwhile, a 10-digit code, any other phone number, seems more like a human. And so if you're doing API traffic through that, they want to verify you and they want to rate limit you so that you don't try to fake being a human or try to impersonate being a human from a business context. So we have shifted over to now using a toll-free number. We sent out those bulk messages to try to make sure that those would get received on your phone. They did.
Yep.
Now SMS should be working. With that being said, if you have the availability to test it now, I would love to get your thoughts on if it's working.
Yep. Let's try that. So let's see what the best way to do this is. I have not set up my desktop in a way where I want to necessarily share my screen, but I can go into my phone, go to my account on InProcess, go through the validation process. I have to redo it, presumably. Or
no,
am I already
I assume try to keep going. You've already,
okay, great.
To give context of what you've already done, you already went on to the InProcess website, you went on to the manage page, and then you click connect phone, and you typed in your phone number, you clicked verify, and then nothing happened after that, right?
Correct. Let's see if I can find that 888 number. Okay, here it is. So I have a string of messages from that number, which is essentially it's all that validation message. So in theory, I should be able to send a picture to here, and it'll get posted on InProcess. Is that correct? From my
You
phone
are in a
number.
little bit of a stuck state. Would you mind just sending any text to that phone number and see what it sends back?
Okay, I have sent a text. Waiting. How fast should the response be? Oh, here it is. Your phone number is not verified. Please reply yes to verify your phone number.
That fast.
Your phone number has been verified. Excellent. So that's pretty rad.
And now did it tell you that you can now send
Yes.
moment? Okay.
Okay, let's throw a moment in there. That's a good one. Okay. It's a picture from CES.
Oh yeah, you already
Sent
did that.
it up. Great. So here's what it looks like. I just sent that picture up. And I have a return message that says moment created with a link to inprocess.world. Pull it up. Still loading. Oh. Okay, it's just loading slowly. Here we go. Here we are. Rad.
Send a text message, get an item on chain.
Beautiful. Super easy.
Thoughts, feedback? You said super easy.
Yeah, it's like at this point, I think the ideal is like, I go in here, I can airdrop it, I can edit the description. I have the full like web UI to do the edits. Because the natural instinct, once I get a link back from something where I gave it a thing to put on chain, is to like, I'm on that web page, let me just go and fill in the rest of the information.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels really good. That feels really good.
Okay, excellent. And we're already giving you that link to be able to at least airdrop. But right now we're just sending you the moment link. I think Carl had said instead of the moment link, we should send the manage link.
Yes.
So don't send that moment link, send the manage link instead.
Yep. And I think this might be a good place to, this might be a good place to maybe fork off the UI and do a specific version of the UI for managing something that came in through a text moment creation. So we can articulate that as we know you came through with this. Here's what we know you'll be putting in next. Whereas the managed one is more of like we made that as a control panel for a thing that you'd already made without this expectation you were a part of a flow. So I feel like building this as a flow, like where we, the existing in process, like we've made that, it works, it's really optimized for desktop, that's there. Then we have this new sort of like, this is coming in through this text interface, and you're going to be on a mobile device. And so we expect it to feel and look this way, because at this point, this is what you'll have in mind to do next.
Interesting.
So it's like build a new UI for like airdropping, and then, or adding a description and airdropping, and then whatever else you might want to do. But like those two things first, like let's give you a proper description, and do you want to airdrop it to anyone? And I think Forrest's idea of like, hey, if you've been airdropping to people in the past, having those pre-populated as like, hey, you usually drop to these people, would you like to drop them again? That'll just make it feel really buttery.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've got the normal addies, or however Forrest had framed it. That is on deck. It's in review. Should be out later today.
Beautiful.
So that's almost out. I like your idea of a special flow for this SMS on success. It sounds like airdrop and description are the two priorities. Anything else you think should be prioritized in that success page? You get that text back, it's confirmed, I tap the link, I see my space to airdrop, I see that I can put in a description. What else would you like to see on that page? Or should we ask that?
Honestly, I think that's it. Like, let's keep it super sparse, because we want this to feel lightweight and delightful. Agreed.
Okay. And the case when you aren't logged in on your mobile, or you tap it from a browser that you're not logged in, right now, when you tapped on that link and it opened up the moment, did it already have you signed in, or did it still say sign in?
It still says sign in.
Okay.
So we should have you validate in some way before, because if you come in through that URL and you can start airdropping willy-nilly, obviously we don't want that. So there's some validation we probably, and I'm presuming, once you validate it, that'll persist across sessions.
Usually we've just been showing this text of like, now you need to sign into in-process, click this link. I think I like your idea of really optimizing this, thinking they're going to be coming from this experience. They're going to expect to see some confirmation that they're looking at the moment. Instead of just showing that, I'm thinking of showing all the info. So show the airdrop box and show the description and maybe the title and the image, so that I can see, okay, I see this moment, but it's all disabled. And then I have to click the sign in button at the top, or maybe there's another button on the screen, but whether you're signed in or signed out, I'm thinking show all the info on this page. That way you, for example, are the happy path and you weren't signed in. I think showing you more info helps you to feel like I am on the right track. This is where I wanted to go. I can at least confirm the moments there. And then if I can see that there's this other stuff, it's disabled. If I want to do stuff in it, I'll tap the sign in button, type in my email address.
Yeah, I think I think that's a great idea, because sometimes you just want to see that it made it on chain, and that's good enough.
Right. And maybe on that page, we want a link to share it. So that way I can share it with friends to collect, or more sparse.
I think that's, yes, let's add the share button. Like for now, we'll just let's slam all the functionality in and then figure out how to lay it out optimally after the fact. But yes, all the stuff that you can do without signing in, present that, and then have, there's a section where it's like, it's grayed out where you have to sign in order to do that. Or maybe it's just like a thing that says sign in to edit description. I mean, it's just instead of having a bunch of UI that's disabled, we just have a line that says sign in to add a description or airdrop.
Note, sign into airdrop or manage, or do you prefer edit description? Sign into airdrop and or manage, or sign into airdrop and edit description? More explicit.
I think, let's be more explicit, because manage, what does that mean?
Okay. Sign into airdrop.
Send it out to get me a sandwich.
What'd you say?
Manage makes it sound like I can tell it to, go and get me a sandwich.
Okay. Sign into airdrop or edit description.
Yep.
Okay. This is helpful. So before today's call, you weren't even able to get a message back. On today's call, you were able to get a message back, send messages. You now know how long it takes to reply. You've been able to create a moment all using SMS. Where we're going to next is cleaning up the experience of the link that you get, so that, okay, I created this thing, you tap on the link, and then you continue the experience on the getting transitioned from the SMS client over to the web client.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. How are we doing on time? Okay, I know we're just about to run out of time. So a question I have that I've been starting to think about is, a lot of people, the name that's coming into my mind is Dutchy. If it's not okay, shout out Dutchy, tell me afterwards. Dutchy constantly just has a rough experience on the create page. It feels like anytime he's trying to do something, he's coming to us and he's saying, hey, this didn't work. I spent all the time I was going to spend. Can't do this anymore. I'm going to keep moving on. And then he's just frustrated. We've been trying to fix it to improve it. Then there's these other edge case things of upload limits, videos, etc. Part of me is wondering if the ideal flow for creation is SMS only. And we update the create page to, instead of having all those UI elements, say, send a text message to this phone number to create. And that does a couple things. One, it auto enforces the video upload size. Our SMS client already won't accept large videos. If you're SMS just won't do large videos by default. People aren't sending gigabyte videos from iPhone to Android or from Android to iPhone. That's a known constraint. There's a lot of known constraints around large media files that are already enforced with SMS. Two, it reduces the design size. Instead of us maintaining both an SMS for create and a web for create, SMS becomes the creation, and then the web becomes a more advanced managing. I'll pause there and just get your initial thoughts on doing that transition.
So yeah, I think we've never been prescriptive within process about what it's for, what is the ideal type of content for in process. Partially because we didn't have a strong point of view on it. And at some point, I think we do have to have some sort of hey, this is what in process is optimized for, and you can bend it to do other things up to these constraints. So I think what you're suggesting is what if we just said in process is really for lightweight stuff that you're just uploading from your phone in the moment. I personally like that a lot, because I feel selfishly, that's where I was coming from when I was in my mind imagining what is in process for. It's really just like off the cuff. Hey, we're in my studio. Hey, I just made something really cool, which I don't know if I need to ship or not, but like I'm really proud of it. Snapping photos of that, writing a little description, airdropping it, like just having it on chain. To me, that's just like that. That's sort of the nonchalantness I would love for people who put things in process, who record parts of their process. They're really they want to keep for themselves, and they're also happy to share. We, on the flip, we've had people who use in process to think like, I'm going to do a little miniature, like behind the scenes, and actually something where they're like shooting it, editing it, and it's not something that you would, it's not like full, high TikTok quality production, but it's something that's like more a little more off the cuff. But you still have things like like captions and things like that, and those things like if you go through the effort to make something that's edited and real like honestly produced, that you do want that at a certain fidelity, and those files will be big by default. At this moment, I would love to say there's this vibe of nonchalantness that I want in process to have. But I'm also not so confident in that, where I want to just basically like, I want to write off this whole category of ideas of like what people want to put in process. That said, I think it would be, I want to lean in on seeing if people really enjoy engaging with in process in this lightweight SMS manner. And if there's more resonance with that than sort of like the heavier lift, like the full like desktop experience, then certainly really focus on making this buttery, and then coming back to the desktop experience later and putting more well-defined constraints on like, okay, it's going to work great for high fidelity stuff on this platform, but here are very specific boundaries that we want to keep in. All that to say, I think basically let's focus on making SMS as good as it can be. And then after we've made this awesome, zoom back out and see, okay, what do we want to do for like higher production quality and process type content? So I don't want to lop that stuff off, but I want to defocus that, which I think we've kind of been doing so far the past couple of weeks, and really trying to lean into like, let's see how good we can make the SMS stuff. Focus on rolling that out, work with Jade to sort of like propagate that out through the people who've been using it in process to get their feedback on it, see how they like using it, and then see if they actually use it in a way that makes them happy and makes the people they airdrop to happy.
I agree. Don't force this transition too fast. Let's keep making it better and keep leaking this phone number out to more artists. And if they use it more, let's lean into it, but not, like you said, lop it off too early and jar the artists that are used to using us. Do you have any other thoughts or questions you want to throw in before we wrap up for today and talk more about it in an hour or so?
No, I'm really pleased with how this worked. I'm excited to take this to the next couple of steps, and I know we're going to run into more problems. I know like SMS handling of video, sometimes it gets severely degraded. Sometimes like there's a little bit of like unpredictability I've always found in SMS in terms of like handling media, and we'll see if that bites us.
If you're watching this and you're interested in sending your images via SMS and then getting that put on chain, let us know in the comments or reach out to anybody on the team to get early access to the new phone number.